Sexual assault is unfortunately a common occurrence in America. When we think of sexual assault, we think of female victims and male perpetrators, right? But what about the countless male victims with female and male perpetrators? Male victims of sexual assault are grossly misunderstood and underrepresented in society today due to a lack of awareness and support. As a female victim, I believe that male victims should have as much representation and support as we females do. Bringing awareness to society's detrimental view of masculinity and male survivors of sexual assault will help male victims get the support and justice they deserve. Many people see men as the primary aggressors in sexual assault cases, and although that may be true in most circumstances, that does not mean that men cannot be victims themselves. It is a common misconception that men cannot be assaulted or victimized, especially by women, because of their autonomy. In the article, Prevalence and Consequences of Adult Sexual Assaults of Men, Review of Empirical Findings and State of Literature, written by Zoe Peterson, Emily Voller, Melissa Polensny, and Maureen Murdoch, it states, contrary to the emerging data suggesting that some men do suffer as a result of sexual assault, commonly held myths suggest that men cannot be raped or sexually assaulted, and that if men are sexually assaulted, they are unharmed by the experience and may even find it pleasurable. This myth is dangerous and harmful for male victims because it makes a mockery of their trauma and what they have been through. You may be thinking to yourself, well, I have heard of more female victims, so it can't be that common, but that is not the case. Many cases of male sexual assault go unreported because male victims do not feel comfortable or safe coming forward about their experiences. In society, masculinity is viewed as dominant, sex-driven, and tough. So many people believe that males enjoy every sexual encounter and are the ones to initiate it, even when they claim they never consented to it. When male victims do come forward, they are emasculated, humiliated by being told, you should have enjoyed it, you're lucky, you're a man, you could have stopped it if you didn't want it, and so on. In the article, Male Victims of Sexual Assault, Phenomenology, Psychology, and Sociology, written by Clayton Bullock and Mace Beckson, it states, despite growing awareness of the crimes, the legal system has been unwilling to provide legal remedy to male sexual assault victims, partly as a consequence to the belief that maintaining an erection or having an ejaculation during an assault signifies consent by the victim. Men are betrayed by their body's natural reactions to stimuli and have their autonomy used against them to further humiliate and hurt them. For fear of what people may say or do to them, male victims never come forward and report the crimes committed against them, and therefore never get the help or support necessary to overcome their trauma. After all of this, you may be asking yourself, well, what can I do to help? Let me tell you. The best and easiest thing you can do for male victims is spread awareness for them. Be their voice when they are too afraid and too ashamed to speak up for themselves. Be a safe place for the men in your life to confide in you about their experiences. Having someone on their side will help them. Having someone on their side that they can trust and rely on will help them report what happened to them to the authorities and get the help they need. Remind them they are not alone. They are seen, heard, and believed. In the article, Perceptions of Male Victims in Depicted Sexual Assaults, a review of literature written by authors Michelle Davies and Paul Rogers, it states, being blamed for the assault is detrimental to the victim's recovery, and some victims are blamed for the assault from those to whom they disclose. It is the case that victims do not report their assaults to the authorities or disclose to family and friends because they feel they will be blamed and disbelieved. Attitudes towards victims have a direct influence on whether or not the victims report the assault to the police and medical services. Helping male victims come forward about their traumatic experiences will also help them begin their process and journey of healing. When you spread awareness about male victims and survivors, you are helping them to get the justice and support they deserve. Male victims should not be too afraid or too ashamed to report crimes committed against them because of what people will say or do to them. They should feel safe, uplifted, supported, and defended, not ashamed, afraid, emasculated, and humiliated. I'm sorry, this is my cat. How do we expect society to grow and evolve when we are still blaming victims for crimes committed against them? It's time for us to stop blaming victims and start helping them heal instead.